Women are asking for a sex strike to send a message to men that strong, independent women are not to be trifled with. They deserve it. No, we are all aware. They lack the ability to simply decline a chat. My money is on them, not going more than 7 days without a ride on the carousel. And I'm being generous with the time I've set aside. They probably won't last 3 days without it, because women desire attention more than males crave sex, and who has all the power in this situation? Women are using abortion as a form of contraception. It's past time for women to refuse to surrender their boyfriends' husbands to random males. No more promiscuous sex with strangers, as if that's ever going to happen. I also warned her that the human species will need to raise reproduction rates over replacement level at some point in order to live, and Romania accomplished just that during the Cold War. And I'll be working in China soon too, because they've restricted abortions. Governments will take over reproduction and go all brave new world on us. I just find it amusing that lane whales exist. They can't even go on a hunger strike while claiming to be on a sex strike. It's similar to saying to your supervisor, "You can't dismiss me since I quit." Meanwhile, your selection will have little effect other than to make you feel as if you have some control over your destiny. Women have already forced males to go on a sex strike when they are helpless. For a long time, hookup culture was responsible. Many blue pill males are thirstier than ever because they are virgins without a partner to call their own. Furthermore, it's primarily the ugly women who say they're going on, that sex is a joke on them, because it's not a punishment for many people. It is, in fact, a reward. In the MGTOW community, we know the so-called sex strike is a joke, but most of the blue pill simps out there will support feminist protesters in states like Ohio and Pennsylvania. And in Texas, males are already receiving vasectomies, despite a doctor scarcity. Here's a thought. What about the doctors who no longer do abortions? Start doing vasectomies instead, which will result in a new business for them. But the male who has the vasectomy cannot be followed for child support by a pregnant lady. In terms of women using sex as a strike, that could be effective for elderly women who already have little to no interest. However, if they are under the age of 25, they want more than males do. The most sexually active women will not stop being that way. Instead, they will take greater measures and force men to wear condoms. Contrary to popular belief, women on the pill are more likely to be drawn to beta males. Wouldn't it be hilarious if blue-pilled simps got more attention instead of less? With abortion being illegal in some areas, the pill confuses women's bodies into thinking they're pregnant. As a result, they choose males with softer, more feminine looks. This implies they'll be less likely to seek out Chat and Brad, and more likely to seek out their basic friend with the physique of a dad. By prohibiting abortions, the fertility rate in red states may increase by 20 to 25% on average, but the amount of sex will not decrease. The only thing that will vary is the preferred methods of contraception. It's also amusing since I don't believe the lowest 80% of men will be hurt as much by the sex strike, but the top 20% of males, women can't stop sleeping with. If they don't, other women will snoop in with their floppy flesh curtains and steal them as mercenaries with memories. The concept of a sex strike is women being all bitch, but with no bite. I believe the idea is that some thirsty SOPs out there will be duped into believing that women are on strike. Women are also increasingly seeking gay men. The gay men have realized that women do not have their best interests at heart and are only interested in utilizing them as a useful fool. I wish women will go on a sex strike, because after a long enough length of time without sex, men will understand they no longer need it. Then it would have to go through an existential crisis and emerge out the other side not craving the cooch. They'd be preoccupied with something more intriguing and constructive with their lives. Surprisingly, the more males that did it, the more women were turned on by it and envious because they wanted that attention. I also find it amusing when feminists advise married women not to have sex with their husbands. They're already doing it, and no one asked them to. It's a total farce. Aside from that, What woman with a lover who is a desirable male is going to cut him off from sex without wording? If he's just going to run away with someone else after becoming enraged with her? If women ever went on a sex strike, it would help both men and women, but they're just using reverse psychology to make us guys feel dependent on women. That it isn't the other way around. Women are putting their own dread of males going on sex strikes onto guys. We must first do the same to them. Men would have a meltdown in 1 to 2 days if they stopped offering women attention and sex, and they'd finally understand that males mean business. Fortunately for them, we do not have a male-only group preference. They aim to dismantle masculine groups and labels that we can unite around. The craziest aspect of all of this is watching 300-pound ladies say that they won't be sleeping with any man until the abortion law changes. A century ago, such women would have been employed as circus freaks. It's every man for himself, which is presumably why the ladies freaked out when men's rights groups formed in MGTOW. They know that men united can never be separated.